Nicholas Gray MBE is a former colonel in the British Royal Marines, as of 2014 running a floating armoury company in the ocean area subject to piracy based in Somalia and nearby countries. As a UN observer, he prevented a disaster at the Peruća hydroelectric dam in 1993 during the Croatian War of Independence. The Serbian military raised the level of the lake and placed 30 tons of explosives within the dam in the preparations for withdrawal, detonating. The explosives was intended to destroy the dam, which would have released a huge surge of water which would have killed and made homeless 20,000 people. Gray, on his own initiative and exceeding his authority, opened the spillway gate and reduced the level of water in the lake by several meters. When the explosives were detonated, the dam did not fail. Early life. Gray was educated at Bradfield College and Durham University, where he studied Russian. He joined the Royal Marines in 1984 and has seen service in Northern Ireland, Northern Iraq, before being deployed to the former Yugoslavia through UNPROFOR. Peruća incident. In 1992, Gray, with the rank of Major, opened a sluice gate on top of the Peruća Dam in Croatia shortly before the occupying Serbs detonated explosives, protected by landmines and booby traps deep inside it. This action did not become known publicly until described to the Science Festival in 1995 by engineering professor Paul Back from Oxford University. He described how Serbian militia had expelled UN observers from the 65-meter-high dam in January 1993, and set off huge explosives in a maintenance gallery that ran the dam's length at foundation level. This was an attempt to use the 540 million cubic meters of stored water as a weapon of mass destruction to the downstream land and population, said Professor Back. Some 20,000 people would have been drowned or rendered homeless had the dam failed as intended. Severe damage was caused to 3 points in the dam corresponding to where the saboteurs had placed their explosives. In the central section alone, it was estimated that 15 tons of explosive material had been used. At each of these 3 points, the top of the dam, made of rock fill with a clay core, sagged by 2 meters, said Professor Back, who was a member of a British team dispatched by the Overseas Development Administration to inspect it and advise on repairs after the Croatians reoccupied it. During the tenure of the UN observers, but while the dam was in Serb hands, Gray had visited the site and observed that the Serbs were holding the water level well above the correct full supply level. He said, on his own initiative and exceeding his authority, he opened the surface spillway gates efficiently to slowly reduce the water level. He managed to lower the water level by some meters by the time the attempt to destroy the dam took place. Had he not been able to reduce the level, there is no doubt that the dam would have failed, as water would have poured over the slumped crest after the explosions. As it was, Professor Back said it was only a miracle that the dam had not failed. With fighting continuing in the surrounding hills, engineers had to race against time before the ongoing erosion of the dam's clay core caused a blow-through and total collapse. Professor Back said he learned later that Major Gray could have been disciplined for exceeding his authority. I wrote to the Ministry of Defense and told him he should be given a medal instead. Quote, items of Gray's UN equipment are on display at the Royal Marines Museum. After UNPROFOR, in 1998, while in command of Z Company 45 Commando Royal Marines, he took part in Operation Teller, providing relief in Nicaragua in the wake of Hurricane Mitch, and in 1999 an exercise in the United States. He saw service in Iraq, Beirut, and Somalia and Afghanistan. He has had staff appointments at the Permanent Joint Headquarters, Navy Resources and Plans in the Ministry of Defense, the headquarters of the multinational force Iraq in Baghdad, and the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff in the Pentagon, at the end of which he was accorded the privilege of addressing both U.S. Houses of Congress, one of the few Royal Marines to have entered the Capitol building in uniform since his predecessors burned it down on the 24th of August 1814. After Iraq, he taught at the Joint Services Command and Staff College, Shrivenham. On promotion to colonel, he was appointed to the staff of Fleet Commander Operations, where he was the head of operational policy. He also attended the U.S. Marine Corps Command and Staff College in 1997, graduating with distinction. He was appointed Commanding Officer Fleet Protection Group Royal Marines in July 2009. In January 2010, the unit received a counter-piracy award. From September to December 2010, he commanded the Operation Capri Naval Task Group, comprising the ships RFA Fort Victoria, HMS Northumberland and HMS Montrose, with boarding teams from FPGRM, conducting counter-piracy operations in Somali waters. During this time, the task group captured 6 pirate teams. In July 2011, he moved to HQ International Security Assistance Force as the Director, Combined Joint Operations Center in Afghanistan, where he was the Chief of Current Operations MNG Maritime. Upon leaving the Royal Marines in 2013, Gray and fellow Durham alumnus Nick Holtby began MNG Maritime, a UK-based company that provides transfer services to private military and security companies. The company's operations are authorised by specifically issued UK government trade control licenses, covering floating armoury services. It provides offshore storage facilities for weapons used by anti-piracy guards protecting vessels traversing the part of the Indian Ocean known as the high-risk area, infested by pirates based in Somalia and other places, so that the weapons do not need to be carried into territorial waters, where being in possession of weapons would be illegal. He is a qualified PADI scuba diving instructor. Honours and awards. He was awarded the MBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours 2002 for his part in planning the major UK Armed Forces exercise in Oman in 2001, Exercise Safe Saria 2. In 1995, he featured on the front page of the Times newspaper, being recognised for his role in the incident at the Peruća Dam. On the 27th of January 2013, on the 20th anniversary of the Peruća incident, Gray was awarded Order of Duke Domagoj by the President of Croatia Ivo Josipovic. The award was gazetted on the 29th of March 2013. The Croatian radio television filmed a documentary on Gray's involvement in the Peruća Lake Dam incident. Member of the Order of the British Empire 2002.